This is a Three Rivers, Michigan historical short featuring the early history of the Three Rivers Fire Department. This presentation was created in honor of Fire Chief Fred Bierstecker, who was a member of the Three Rivers Fire Department for 60 years, and Fire Chief Seibert Kroos, a member for 49 years. We salute both for the fire service legacies and traditions they left behind. Our story begins on October 1st of 1859, when the village common council met the 50 pledged members of St. Joseph Fire Company Number 1. The fire company first ran out of the cooper shop of John Young, who lived at 210 East Street. The shop was located in the alley between Prutzman and Kelsey Street, just out of view to the left of this picture taken from the bell tower of the First United Methodist Church, looking south toward the bustling downtown district. The first formal fire hall was constructed just 7 years later in 1866. It was located at 122 North Main Street, next to an opera house. It was a grand fire hall featuring a hose tower and a bell tower. A bell was purchased in 1868. It was used to report a fire and summon firemen to the station. That original bell is now proudly displayed in front of the fire station at City Hall. The fire equipment of that era was transported on carts. The carts were pulled by hand to the scene of a fire. Here is a view of an early hose company staged in front of the First Ward Fire Hall. The first Waterworks plant was constructed in 1882 at a cost of $35,000. It was located next to the Rock River Dam. In the background is the original Peeler Street Bridge. As an epitome of innovation, the first pressurized water system for Three Rivers was made possible by the presence of two pumps. Those two pumps were driven by the flowing water power generated by the Rock River Dam. That's right, water-powered water pumps. Within a few years, the Waterworks system had 9 4-inch wells at 96 feet deep, a capacity of 1.5 million gallons daily, delivered through 4.5 miles of wooden water mains, serving 194 taps and 48 fire hydrants. Remarkably, the system was capable of achieving a pressure of 85 psi under fire operating conditions. In 1886, a second fire hall was constructed in Second Ward. It was on South Main, near Mechanic Street. It served the many industries in what was once known as the village of Lockport, which included its own downtown district. By 1891, Three Rivers had hose companies Number 1 and Number 2, and the city Hook and Ladder Company. The First Ward Fire Hall was home to Hose Company Number 1. They were known as the Optimates Hose Company. First Ward was also home to the City Hook and Ladder Company. They were known as the Protection Hook and Ladder Company. The Second Ward Fire Hall was home to Hose Company Number 2. They were affectionately called the Wide Awake Hose Company. It would take all three companies to bring this fire under control in 1904. It was a large mill that once stood on West Michigan Avenue between the Rocky River and the railroad, the current site of LA's Coffee Cafe. Look closely at the large fire streams made possible by the City Waterworks plant. It is an impressive display of fire protection capabilities for that time period. Over time, the hand-drawn carts were replaced with horse-drawn wagons, and the city's first full-time firemen were hired in 1905. It was their responsibility to quickly hitch up the team and respond faster than ever with more equipment to the scene of a fire. We have covered just the first 50 years of a legacy that began in 1859. There is a lot more to the story, and that will be shared in future versions of a Three Rivers, Michigan historical short. Thank you for joining us.